everybody, Backyard Bullion here. Welcome one and all to episode 174 of In Focus Friday, the show where we take a good close look at cool things made of silver or gold. Last week it was a Christmas themed episode, which certainly split opinion. Lots of people were in favour of Christmas themed silver, but equally a large number of you were against Christmas themed silver. So if you've not checked it out, well worth a look. There's a link down in the description below. Now this week, as you can see, we have a double header. We're starting 2020 off in style, and that's because both of these received the same amount of votes in last week's episode. For those who are new, each episode at the end we have 3 or more items, and we cast our votes on what we want to see next time. These were the winners from last week, and we will have 3 very cool items at the end of today's episode, so make sure you stick around and cast your eye and indeed your vote over what you want to see next time here on In Focus Friday. But it's a double header today, so let's crack on. We have, first up, the Redback Spider. Now this is interesting on a number of different fronts, and I quite like it, I have to say. Whether or not it's the world's best coin, I think is still up for debate. I don't really think it is. But nevertheless, it's a very cool and different piece. Start of a new series, the what's called the Australia's Most Dangerous series, which will probably be a fairly lengthy series, considering nearly everything in Australia is designed to kill you somehow, but it's still quite a fun series nonetheless. Now this is interesting for another reason, because it is from the Royal Australian Mint. Now there is of course the Perth Mint, which is pretty much worldwide known, synonymous with incredibly high quality coins, very exquisite designs, and they do a fantastic job. And for me, it's really interesting because I've been collecting silver bullion coins for the last sort of 4 years now, 4 years now, making videos 3.5 years, and the Royal Australian Mint's never really come on my radar. There's not really been any kind of cool standout coins that I've bought. However, this is the second one now, which seems to be getting a little bit of traction behind it. The first was that triangular Batavia coin that we featured a few weeks ago, and now this Redback Spider has come out. I really like this, and the Royal Australian Mint seems to be doing a good job. Now there are a couple of quality issues here just to very quickly talk about. Now these are a limited minted edition, 25,000. They come at a little bit of a premium, not a huge premium, certainly less than some of the Perth Mint coins that are out there, but nevertheless a premium, and that's an interesting thing when you have some quality issues. Now, you may well see there's a little spot coming out from Queenie's nose. If I just get my pointer here, my lovely little knife, we can see the little spot there out of Queenie's nose. That is definitely a little blemish rather than a piece of dust. And then on the other side, you may well have noticed it when I was showing this side. There's a scratch on the Redback Spider's back. Now, that's of course a concern for quality control when buying premium items. They do come supplied in capsules, so this capsule that it's resting in here was how it came from the dealer, and I expect how it's shipped from the Royal Australian Mint. So I can't imagine that scratch has come at any other point post leaving the mint, so it's possibly something that's happened during the production process, which is of course a concern. So that side of things, there's definitely room for improvement. Perth Mint is synonymous with their quality control and their finish. They do have a few mistakes here and there, but by and large, pretty perfect. So to have a couple of issues on this one is obviously, a concern. Nice reeded edge though. The quality of the rest of the coin is really good. I have to say, it's very well made. We've got Jodie Clark's portrait here. This is a common criticism I have of most coins in the world at the moment, that they seem to be a little bit dull, a little bit boring in terms of the Queen's portrait side or the coin side with the emblem of whatever country they are from. This could have had a bit more energy put into it, a bit more design thought go into it. I like some of the themes of one side of the coin coming over onto the other. So there's definitely room for improvement on that side of things. Which this all leads me to kind of the point I kind of want to make about this coin. It's very popular. There's a lot of people out there who have been noticing it, talking about it. First of a new series is always exciting. Relatively low mintage, 25,000, with not an exorbitant high premium on them as well. I'm noticing up here as well a couple of little blemishes. I don't know if those are going to be dust spots. Let's see if we can get a little kind of cotton glove, see if they rub off. Yes, those are just dust spots by the looks of it. So yeah, a couple of quality issues. But does that lead this to mean it's going to be a flop? Don't think it's going to be a complete flop. I think they are pretty cool, and if there are quality design issues, then it means that any that are out there that are perfect will be perhaps a little bit more sought after. In terms of the aesthetics of the design, I really like the spider web. I like the matte finish. I've been talking about matte finishes a lot recently, especially when you get a cool red light on your camera in the background like that. Silver matte finishes are actually really, really cool. I like them. They accentuate the designs of coins, I think, really well. I do like the shiny bit of the spider that really exemplifies from the coin. It leaps out. So design-wise, aesthetic-wise, this side is really very cool. The matte finish, though, it's slightly different to kind of the finish you get on Perth Mints. It's got a bit of texture to it, and you can see the light reflecting off it in different ways. I think is pretty cool. So all in, very nice coin, interesting stuff. I do like the theme, and we haven't even talked about the Redback Spider itself. So the Redback Spider is itself, if I can get my Latin pronunciation right here, Latrodectus hasselti, and it's of course one of the deadliest animals, most dangerous animals in Australia. However, it's not necessarily one of the most sort of ones that cause the most human fatalities, as there is now a very widely usable and accessible anti-venom which was apparently created in 1956, and since then there have not been a single human fatality recorded from a redback spider. So a lot of this, they're very common spiders apparently, and I've heard, you hear tales of them. You go out into the back garden and they're sort of crawling in your boots, and you put your boots on. That's the most common time that people will be bit by them. So they're not necessarily going to come out and get you all the time, but they're certainly not the most dangerous in that sense, as they haven't killed anybody since 1956. Anyway, that's the spider in itself. Let me know your thoughts on this redback spider as we go throughout the video. I like it. I think there's quality issues to consider though. It's a good offering, good showing from the Royal Australian Mint, but perhaps room for improvement down the line later in the series. I'm intrigued though as to what the other items in the series will be. There's of course a lot of very deadly animals in Australia. So anyway, let me know your thoughts on that. Next up we have in our double header a new issue as well, the first in a new series of Celtic Animals. Now this is made by the Sunshine Minting, and I'm understanding this right, I think, from various different sources. It looks like this was a kind of what's called an APMEX exclusive. So APMEX, I think, have commissioned this as a kind of coin to see. Now you can see how lovely the finish is there in terms of reflectivity, I was going to say. Is that even a word? It's very, very shiny, but as you can see when you put it up to that end, of course it's not a proof finish coin, so there are potential issues there. Now this was supplied in a plastic baggie, which says to me that it was not supplied in a capsule from the Sunshine Mint. Now this has a mintage of 5,000. Tiny micro mintage, really very, very cool in that sense, but it's let down by the fact that it's been sat in a plastic bag, which of course has left little bits of texture or like just general tiny little bits of transfer onto the coin itself, which has, in my opinion, almost ruined the aesthetics of it. And whilst this is a really interesting one to talk about, I've been looking forward to talking about this for a while. It's a really unique concept, really cool concept. I like this idea. Celtic stuff is really popular right now. We've got a huge upsurge in that kind of stuff that's happening in terms of the bullion world, and there's really, really interesting stuff to take part in that. The Irish deer, yeah, I guess that's a cool thing to do. And I like the idea that perhaps they were going for a really nice, unique finish with that perfect mirror. It really is very reflective, but they've let it down. It's let down by its finish. It's just not very good, and I don't agree with that. If you're going to do that, do it right. Make sure it's as perfect as can be, and then protect it as well as you can be with a mintage of just 5,000. These are high premium items with that mintage. So we're talking, I think, on various different dealers right now, this being offered out at close to £25, £26, which would be about $30 perhaps, and that's an expensive piece of silver to then have some quality control issues here. So that's definitely one of the things not in its favour. I think the design could have been a little bit more interesting as well. Also, if it's kind of the Celtic Animals series, I know these days, like a lot of companies out there will just go and they'll find any old, I say any old, but this is the Republic of Chad. Chad is in the middle of Africa, and it doesn't have a great deal to do with Celtic culture. You know, I'd have much rather have seen something, you know, even if you could get Ireland or one of the kind of, you know, Isle of Man or something, you know, that would have really, in my eyes, made this a bit of a better series. It's got a bit of lack of context overall, which I think is, you know, a little bit strange. Reeded edge again on the sides, but really it all pales into insignificance considering the lack of kind of energy in the design. I mean, it's good, it's fun. I mean, look really close up, the Celtic Irish deer with its Celtic design patterns creating it looks okay. But what I also look at when I see this is, you know, those posters you get in butchers showing the different parts of the animal and what they're called. This almost looks like this Celtic deer has been divvied up, and it's that poster on a butcher's shop. You've got the rump, you've got the leg, you've got the, you know, this, whatever the other parts are, I can't remember, the shoulder and everything. And yeah, it just looks a little bit like it's not quite all there and with it. And combine that with the lack of care of attention to the final product and how it's packaged and put off. I don't think it works. I don't think it works. And I don't think it's going to be a winner. Definitely not. It's one of those ones which I think will fall flat unless they significantly improve it. I mean, from a distance, it looks really good with that. I know what they were trying to achieve, but it's fallen short in my opinion. So there we go. That is the Celtic Animals, the Irish red deer and the Redback Spider from the Royal Australian Mint. Let me know your thoughts on both of those. Be interesting to know what your thoughts are, whether you've got them, whether you're going to get them, whether you have them already, and what your thoughts are generally. So please feel free to comment down below. So let's put those to one side and bring in some items for us to have a look at in the next couple of weeks. Now we've got one lingering item which has had a couple of votes here and there over the last couple of weeks, and that's the Montserrat harp. I actually really like it. I think it's a very attractive looking coin. So if you are interested in that, then let us know by voting down in the comment section. Next one is the Anniversary Kookaburra. This is a really attractive piece, I have to say. Got some very, very cool pieces coming up in the near future. So if you want to have a look at that, then let us know. Then the last item for you guys to cast your vote over is something very different and very unique, but is still a coin. It's a Pringle-shaped coin, or a chip-shaped coin, as I don't know if we can use the word Pringle, but there we go. That is on the cards. It's an actual coin. If you want to find out more about that or any of the other coins, then please do let me know your thoughts down and your vote down in the comment section. If you enjoyed today's video and the presentation of it, then please do make sure to hit the like button. That always helps everything that we do here on our channel. And if you want to see future videos of In Focus Friday, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and if you want notifications, hit that alarm bell. Otherwise, we've of course got a playlist with over 170 different videos showcasing loads of different stuff, and that playlist should be linked down below as well. Otherwise, that's it from me today. I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. Thank you all for watching, and as always, please make sure that you like, share, comment and subscribe for more.